I'm 84 years old. When you get this old, you spend a lot of time just sitting, looking back, adding up the ledger. You see the things you built, your beautiful children, your home, your memories. But you also see the things you carried. The thing I carried the longest, the heaviest anchor I ever had, was anger. I wasted 6 decades being truly furious at someone. 6 decades. That's longer than most people even get to live. And if I could trade every single moment of resentment I ever felt for 1 extra year of peace, I would do it right now. The irony is sickening. I kept feeding this little ember of rage, hoping it would burn down the person who hurt me. Instead, it just burned down my own house. I remember the incident vividly. It happened in 1958. A petty betrayal by a friend named Beatrice over a job opportunity. At the time, it felt like the world had ended. It felt like she had ruined my chances at happiness forever. Every slight, every rumor, every time I saw her at the grocery store, I felt that sharp twist in my stomach. It became a habit, an addiction almost, to feel wrong. What does being angry for 60 years look like? It looks like always having a slight edge in your voice. It looks like never being truly present at the dinner table. My husband Ryan, bless his patient soul, he would try to make a joke, and I'd just nod, my mind already back 40 years ago, replaying the moment Beatrice looked me in the eye and lied. I wasn't fighting her then. I was fighting her ghost every single day. I convinced myself that holding on to this resentment was some kind of defense, some kind of justice. My children, Rose and Caleb, they grew up around a mother who was fundamentally guarded. I gave them love, yes. But there was always this wall, a stiffness that I couldn't drop. That wall wasn't protecting me from the outside world. It was trapping me inside this tiny little prison of bitterness. I see pictures now of myself from those years, in my 30s, my 40s, and my eyes look hard. They lack the light that genuine peace gives you. The anger didn't just steal my time, it stole my face. The consequences of a long grudge aren't dramatic explosions. They're slow erosion. Think of a stone dropping into a river every minute for 60 years. You don't notice the depth changing until the river is nearly gone. I miss true intimacy with Ryan because part of me was always reserved, always calculating. I was too busy being the martyr in my own head to be the happy wife and mother I really wanted to be. That truly is the deepest shame, that I wasted so many precious moments given to me. The turning point for me didn't come from some great therapist or book. It came from a newspaper obituary last year. Beatrice had passed away. I hadn't spoken to her in 50 years, but seeing her name there hit me like a physical blow. Suddenly, all that energy, all that venom I stored up, had nowhere to go. It just dissolved into nothing. And then the realization hit. She probably hadn't thought about that betrayal from 1958 in decades. She lived her life, and I had spent mine keeping her memory alive just to hate her. The heavy heart I carried wasn't heavy because of what she did. It was heavy because of what I chose to do with it. I chose to keep lifting that weight every morning, and it made me sick, literally. My doctor linked my persistent stomach issues to decades of stress. That bitterness was physical poison. I was drinking arsenic every day, hoping Beatrice would suffer the pain. The person I thought I was punishing wasn't even aware she was on trial. It takes immense effort to sustain anger for that long. It requires constant mental gymnastics. You have to invent new reasons to be mad when the old ones start to fade. It's like tending a very ugly, thorny garden that requires all your water and sunlight. And the garden never produces anything beautiful, just more thorns. Looking back now, the energy I put into that hate could have written a novel, learned 2 languages, or simply given me 15 extra years of peaceful sleep. I haven't forgiven Beatrice yet. Maybe I never will in the traditional sense, and that's okay. But I have achieved something much more important. I forgave myself. I forgave my younger self for being so foolish, so hurt, and so incapable of letting go. That's the true liberation. Realizing that forgiveness isn't a gift you give to the person who harmed you. It's the gift of freedom you give to yourself. It's the permission to finally put down that impossible stone. If you are watching this, and you are holding a list of grievances that spans years, a falling out with a sibling, a bad breakup, an injustice at work, let it go. Don't carry that unnecessary baggage into your 30s, your 50s, and definitely not your 80s. You think you'll deal with it later, but later just becomes another decade you spent frowning. The time you waste being angry is time you steal from your own joy. And time is the only currency that matters when you get here. My advice is simple, and it comes from deep, personal, painful experience. Choose peace. Choose the quiet comfort of letting things go over the temporary satisfaction of being right. You can acknowledge the injustice without dedicating your entire nervous system to reliving it. When you feel that heat rise, that familiar pull of indignation, consciously stop and ask yourself, is this worth losing today over? The answer, I promise you, is always no. I'm 84 now, and I finally feel lighter than I have in my entire adult life. I only wish I'd learned this when I was 24, not when I was almost finished with my journey. Don't wait until you're my age to realize that your peace is more valuable than any fight, any old score, or any lingering resentment. Choose the quiet life. Choose love. And please, put down the heavy heart. You deserve to be free of it.